Hello everyone, it's Jeff again, and I would like to tell you a story about something that happened in the spring of 2008. When I'm in Omaha and I'm given a day off, I usually always go across the river to Sap Brothers. I like their food and it's a good base of operations. You can do your laundry or take a shower or drop your trailer and go do a little shopping. It's usually always where I go and stay. At this time, there was a bunch of people that were campaigning to become president. And one of them was Bill Richardson, who this week passed away, sadly. The Apple Barrel restaurant inside of Sap Brothers was very, very busy that day. And there was an empty table in the corner, and I went and sat down, and I ordered myself some breakfast. And a short while later, a man came walking in and asked if he could sit with me, as it was the only empty seat in the room. And I, of course, said yes. And he introduced himself, and he told me his name was Bill Richardson, and he was running for president. At that time, he was the governor of New Mexico. He seemed like a very nice guy, and we sat there and chatted for a few minutes while we were waiting for our breakfast. You see, the Cracker Barrel restaurant is known for one very important thing. And of course, that is chicken fried steaks. If you've never had a chicken fried steak, I don't really know how to explain the experience, except to say that it is very pleasurable. Over the course of our breakfast, one of the reporters asked Governor Richardson what he thought his chances were that he would be elected president. And he thought for a minute, and I spoke up and I said, "Governor Richardson, what kind of watch do you wear?" And he looked at me funny and he said, "Why do you ask?" And I said, "Because, sir, I could tell you whether you'll be president or not." You see, every U.S. president has worn the same wristwatch for a very long time, with a few very important exceptions. The Vulcan Cricket is known as a watch that had one very important feature that before the electronic era was very important. It had an alarm that you could set. And if you were a particularly busy person, as a U.S. president is, an alarm can be a very important thing to have. So many presidents wore this particular watch, it became known as the presidential watch. But there were a few very important exceptions. The Bush presidents, father and son, both wore Rolexes, and they were a gift from a person that you will find hard to believe. They were actually a gift from Osama bin Laden's father. You see, he owned the Bin Laden Group, which is one of the largest construction companies in the world, and he had done extensive work for the Bushes early on in their career when they owned an oil company in Texas. And both of their Rolexes were actually gifts from Osama bin Laden's father. Another exception would be Bill Clinton, because when he was governor of Arkansas, he worked very, very, very hard to get Casio America to set up their corporate offices and their customer service center in Hope, Arkansas. The idea was to bring jobs to that area in Arkansas. And Casio did. And there was a lot of jobs, and people were very happy. And it was quite a boon in his political career. So their relationship worked out so well that Casio kept President Clinton in all the Casio watches he wanted, and some of them were quite nice. And their relationship was very amicable. He was very happy to wear their watches. And President Eisenhower who was pretty close to de Gaulle, and their friendship was such that he actually gave him a French watch, an LIP, a lip. He gave several of them away to world leaders. I don't know how popular they were. They're not a particularly great watch, but Eisenhower did wear his watch. I never saw a lip watch that I thought was particularly good. They're all right, but there's a lot of makes that are significantly better. But Eisenhower did wear his, and it became part of his persona that he wore it. Governor Richardson was very nice to me as we sat there and ate our breakfast. It's very sad that this week he passed away. I leave you now back at the Cracker Barrel restaurant. Remember, everybody, be good to each other, think good thoughts, do good deeds. And Bill, if you were alive today, I would vote for you. Goodbye, everyone.